Hello, hello. My name is Jen, and we're going to be going through some core and some stretch together. It's going to be 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. We have 6 groupings, so they're 30 seconds apiece for each group. We go through each thing twice, so you'll catch on real quick, no worries. So we're going to roll out our mat. We're going to get comfortable. And our first grouping is we have a crunch and a bridge. So we have 30 seconds of crunch, 30 seconds of bridge. Let me go through those really quick. We're gonna crunch up with those elbows back, chin up, if not slightly tucked. And then once that 30 seconds is up, we're gonna come down, we're gonna bridge up and back down. If you decide that you want to do only one of those exercises for the full minute, that's totally fine. Please feel free to do so. As long as I can remember to tell you in 30 seconds, I will do so and we will switch it out. So let us get ready for those crunches. Try that again. All right. Let's begin. So, hands behind the head, we're crunching up and back down. All right, let's switch to that bridge. So we're gonna go through each one of these 6, or pairs of 6. We'll take a little break, and then we will do it all again. We have 30 seconds of A, 30 seconds of B, and then 30-second rest. During that rest, you can 100% rest totally. Or you can do something to stretch out the body. Like I'm gonna drop my knees to one side and then switch to the opposite side. Our next exercise is a frog crunch and then a high plank. So our frog crunch, we're gonna have our knees out to the side and our hands back behind our head. And then in that 30 seconds, we're gonna flip on over and go onto our forearms and plank. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's crunch here. If you want to have your hands in front, that's totally fine too. Or across the chest. One more crunch, and then flip it on over. We have fast transitions here. Even if it takes you a little bit longer to get to the next pose or posture or ab, that's totally fine. All right, and then we're resting. Maybe you want to do a little Cobra here. That would be my suggestion. For our next grouping, we have boat and we have camel. So boat is we're going to have our feet up in the air or not. Maybe we can just be here or here, and we're going to hold it. And then we're going to flip on over and we're going to do camel pose together. So we'll get there in a second. Let's start with that boat. We're going to do that in 3 seconds. Hold it as long as you can and then come down. Three, 2, 1. Bring those legs behind you. You can tuck those toes under, and let's push that chest forward. Alright, and rest on up. We have full sit-ups next, and we have a nice side stretch. So, a little movement here, grab some water. Alright, so if you can't do a full sit-up, a crunch is fine, or if you have someone or something to help hold your feet, that would be great too. No rush with any of these exercises. Whatever your pace is totally fine. So the next time you do a sit-up, you're going to sit all the way up. You're going to cross those legs, and you're going to bring one arm over. And then you're going to switch to the other side. And then release. Okay, we have plank and cobra. So we're going to do a side plank, and then when we come back around again, we'll do the other side. So whatever side I'd say you know that you have more an issue with as far as balance, I would suggest starting with that side first. You have more energy now, and you can be on your knees or on your toes here. All right, let's get ready for that side plank in 3, 2, 1. Lift it on up, and then when we do our cobra, we're just gonna go roll right onto our stomach and do our nice cobra stretch. All right, come on down, and let's do a cobra. We can have our arms traditionally here on the ground, or we can come on up here and do a nice high stretch of those abs. Should feel nice. It down. Okay, our last one for round A, or round 1, we have our Russian twists and our seated twist. So a more dynamic movement and then a more relaxing movement. So those feet can be on the ground, those feet can be in the air, and we're rotating. We're rotating our body. We're not, I can move my hands all day long. I'm going to rotate that whole torso. All right. Let's begin. Coming down equal on both sides. So you can use your hands or your fingers for a little measure. How close to the ground have they come? How far away from the knees are they? We have 10 more seconds. 2, 1. All right, and then just a nice, easy twist. And then switching it out. release. So we have a full minute here. We have 30 seconds for our regular break and 30 seconds as a little bonus break for you to grab some water, if you want to change out your mat, if you want to grab a sweatshirt, whatever you want to do, this is a good time to do it. And we're going to go through that whole thing again, doing everything is the same as in structure, but we're going to do the opposite side for that side plank. And then if you have energy, you want to do things a little bit more, I can give you opportunities to do things a little bit more, or you can tone it down. Either way, totally fine. Good news is we're halfway. Bad news is we're halfway. So easy peasy, whatever one you want to think of it as. We're going to start with those crunches and those bridges. If you wanted to make it harder here, you can bring those hands behind your head. Here, as compared to here, you could put a weight on your chest for the crunches and on the lower abdomen for the bridges, if you want to. All right, let's begin. All right, let's bridge. All right, and then you can drop those knees to the side. We have our frog crunches and our high planks next. All right, get yourself ready. Bring those knees out to the side. And let's crunch like a frog on their back, I guess. Oh, I totally forgot the high plank. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll catch on. We'll get it later. I'm just enjoying the frog crunch so much. We only have 5 seconds left. All right. Don't worry. We'll catch it. We'll get it on the back end. All right. We have boat and camel are next. So those feet in front. Lifting them up if you want, keeping them down on the ground if you want. Either way, trying to have as much of a V shape as we can. And I'll see if I can pay attention this time. 2, 1. Let's boat. Seconds. All right, let's go to camel. Push that chest forward. You can totally have your feet on the ground here. By having your toes tucked under, it just gives you more room to breathe. It's like having a yoga block that is built into your own body. sit-ups and side stretches. Get comfortable. Enjoy. If you want to make this one harder, same thing as the crunches, you can bring the hands behind your head, or you can even hold a weight. Big thing is that you're not throwing yourself forward. You are in control the whole time. You can stop anywhere. You can stop going down. You can stop coming up. Do one more crunch or sit up, and then stay up. Cross those legs and bring our one arm over the top. And switch it out other side. And release it down. All right, we have the side plank and the Cobra. So whatever side you did not do your side plank on before, this is your chance to shine. I'm gonna move my clock over here so I can hopefully remember to tell you in 30 seconds. So if you did it on your knees the first round, do it on your knees this round. Even if you don't think you need to, always have them match up. All right, 3, 2, 1. Try to have the shoulders stacked on top of shoulders and hips on top of hips. And let's come down to our Cobra. And remember, if we were down low or up high, try to match it on each side. Release. All right, we have our Russian twists and our seated twists, and then we'll go in back and do that high plank that we missed. As I know, if we don't do it, you'll feel like we missed something. So Russian twists and seated twists. So we're actually going to go right into that plank right after. So it's going to be 3 30 seconds in a row. All right, so I'm going to keep my feet on the ground this time, because I can. Because it is my exercise time, just like it is your exercise time. And just because I'm doing something doesn't mean you have to, and vice versa. Alright, and then we have those seated twists. And switch it on out. And then 10 seconds, we're going right into that high plank. 2, 1. Last exercise. We have 5, we have 4, we have 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Breathe. to our side. And take a second here. Let me start up my new timer. Okay, so we're just going to take this top arm and just bring it straight back behind. Not really timer as much as a clock, just make sure that we're staying on our time limits. And then come up a little bit at a diagonal. And a little low at a diagonal. Release that, take that arm, bring it in front of you, flip onto your belly. Bend the opposite knee and bring it across. And then come back in and let's roll onto the other side. Bring that arm up and back. And then up at a little bit of a diagonal angle. And down. Let's roll onto the belly. Let's take that arm, bring it in front of you. Now let's bend that opposite knee and open up on the other side. Let's come back in. Let's bring those hands behind and can we grab those feet and bring the forehead to the mat and just pull back on those legs, ankles, feet, whatever you're holding on to. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit, you can lift that torso off the ground as much as you can, making sure that we're not holding our breath. And releasing it down. Let's push ourselves up and back through a wide-legged child's pose. Bring those knees out as wide as your mat. Sit back. You might get a little creak or pop like I just did. And bring those arms in front. Bring that forehead to the mat. And just take some breath. Coming on up slightly, bringing those knees in, and then bringing those hands behind you, palms up, and then coming back down again. Really letting those shoulders open up. And then rolling up where you are. I'm just going to turn it forward so you can see me. Let's bring one arm across. Give yourself a big pat on the back. And let's lift those elbows up. And then release. Other side. Give yourself a pat on the back. And release. Grab a hand, bring it back behind, make sure the shoulder, this one here, is back and down. And other side. Release it, shake it out. Let's bring that head towards the shoulder, to the ear as much as you can. I had that ear. That up, bad news. Down. Didn't even know I was doing it until I saw my reflection. If I always have the availability to use a mirror or something reflective, always use it. Switch. I know it can bring up a lot of body issues sometimes to see yourself so much, but the only way you're going to get better with knowing where your body is in space is to physically see your body in space. Come on up, drop that head all the way. And then point that chin up and forward. Nice stretch. Release, come into a tabletop position. Let's kick one foot back, do a nice calf stretch. And then switch that other side. And release, let's tuck those toes under. Let's sit back. Let's roll on up. Let's let that upper body hang and let's just swing a little side to side, bending those knees super gently. And then rolling up one vertebrae at a time until we're standing up nice and tall. Final stretch, hands on the hips. Let's lean one way. Let's come through center and lean the other way. Come back through center. And we are done. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.